So, and I don't want to sound nefarious because there are just as many bad players there are. They're good players as well in the industry. But you know, I do believe that they don't. The transparencies, it could have been there. Like I can track my Domino's pizza. Why can't I track my royalties?
Right.
I mean,
That's a bar right there.
Hey yo, Strife. Hey yo, what up, Kenny? Let's give him something different.
What's the scenario?
What the game's been missing, a change to the format for talking about rap. Cause listening to 2 to 4 hats or yakety yak, we off that. A paradise and 2 card stacks, arguing which artist you would pick for 80 different questions, all crack. Beyond that, you can battle rappers with stats and talk smack. It's like a mix of passe jack and combat.
From milk crates to cassette tapes to playing cards on who go hard on that demo tape. Let's set the record straight. It's like the Roman Coliseum, or who got the rhymes to be filling out arenas, or who got the style to impact the culture, or who lines got content void of that nonsense. 3 artist cards is all you get to put down. Debating back and forth on who got the crown. Out with the gossip and in with the facts.
So what's the scenario?
The new face of rap.
Can't view leverage necessary.
When digging into my library.
Peace, everybody. Welcome to So What's the Scenario?
The first hip-hop game show.
Players win points by having their rapper card picked as the best choice for various scenario questions.
And also by battling each other using our Rap Sliiders rating system.
I'm Kenny.
And I'm Strife.
Before we begin the game, let's introduce our guests.
Yes, this was a special one here. To my far right, we got one of the illest behind the pen. Talented artist, not just an artist, an art curator, event planner. Yo, this is the one and the only, my man, ARTZ.
Hey.
Welcome to the show, ARTZ.
Appreciate y'all for having me. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you for the great intro.
No problem. Another guest that we have, my engineering sensei. I mean, if you want to get your vocals down packed, EQ'd and everything, listen, Plaques, he got them. So if you want to get your mixing game and your records to that upper echelon, you gotta holler at none other than TyTheSoundGod.
Yo, appreciate you coming through.
you already know we out here. We outside, man.
Yeah. All right, this is how to play. Each player begins the game with 3 rapper cards in their hand from the black deck. Players take turns being the host by drawing 1 card from the white deck and following its instructions. There's 6 different cards in the white deck, and we'll explain each of them as they appear.
Some of the cards in the white deck are worth points, both positive and negative. The player with the most points once this white deck is complete wins the game.
The guest always goes first. That'll be you, ARTZ. So let's begin.
This is a scenario. You won tickets to the concert of your dreams, which has an all-star lineup. Who are you most excited to see perform?
All right, we got our first scenario.
Once the scenario is read out loud, the other players place face cards down of one of their rapper cards they feel the host will more likely choose. The rapper cards are flipped over, the host picks a winner, and the winner gets the scenario card, worth 2 points.
The rapper cards go into the discard pile, and all players who put down a rapper card for the scenario will receive a new one.
Who would you be to?
I got it easy. Y'all don't even gotta put
So I
that
just
down.
put a
one
postcard
down,
down the square.
Yep.
The game. Future. I don't even gotta say nothing.
Hold.
Y'all already know Brooklyn boy.
Okay.
The Brooklyn boy.
Jay-Z, right?
It's the
Okay.
GOAT. It's the
That's
GOAT.
me. So
I got love for Future in the game too, but you know.
You ain't gonna
Jigga.
choose Future, man.
yeah, so I went
March
2
Madness.
points.
March Madness is my
Listen.
joint.
Listen, Jay-Z's a cheat code, so I mean,
Yeah, he the
I
cheat
had to
code.
put it down. All right, so next is me.
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
We all need a black
So
card.
I should assume that
Yeah.
somebody might like say for example, I had the game card, right? So is it a strategy to be like, yo, maybe I hold on to the game card because maybe he might have a Jay-Z card or something like that he's gonna beat me with?
Yeah, but there's also a strategy we'll explain in a second. Actually, we got to get to it. Is the battles. So
Correct.
you might want to hold a good card for a battle because you might need that to actually win one of the battles. So the strategy comes into that. You kind of playing, luck of the draw with whoever you put down when it comes to scenarios. You know who somebody else got.
Correct.
And how much you know that next person or think you know that
Exactly.
person.
You got to know
Exactly.
ours too. So you got to know
Exactly.
who's like EBK. I already knew Jay-Z was going to be that one. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That makes sense.
Yeah. So all right, I have a discard. All right, so let's explain the discard.
Yep, this was a little bit special. Okay, so with discards, which can only be played in pairs, discard gives you a -1, but if you get them in pairs, they're used to initiate a battle between you and one other player.
So since I only had one, I'm going to pick this back up and put it back in my hand. My turn is over.
And now it's my turn.
Strife.
Okay, let's see what I got. Got a scenario.
Okay.
If each rapper had a podcast, which one would you most likely listen to?
This rapper had a podcast.
Remember, this is what I'm choosing.
Freddie Gibbs.
Oh, man.
Soulja Boy.
Oh, man.
Rick Ross.
Dang. So,
Rick Ross.
I could see Freddie talking about, about being an artist and things like that, and the trials and tribulations of being like a artist, independent and on a major level.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, I could see how Soulja Boy could talk about the marketing and everything. So I can see how I would choose that.
Man, you know you going with Rick Ross, man. He got the business acumen. You know what I mean? Multiple wing stops and
He gonna talk about lemon pepper wings the whole time.
I like lemon pepper wings. I don't know about that.
Listen,
Rick Ross is too cool for a podcast. I'm sorry.
Soulja Boy ain't gonna be viral.
But
Soulja Boy is
Freddie Gibbs gonna be funny as shit.
yeah, but
Freddie gonna
see,
be funny too.
all three of them would drop knowledge, but the knowledge that I want to entertain, like if I'm on,
what you listening
running on
for?
the treadmill, lifting up some weights in the gym, man, I'm going with I'm going with Rose.
Yes, that's
The
good.
lemon pepper.
All right, so look, so I win that one, so I get the 2 points for that.
I believe it's your turn, Tasha. Here you go.
Let's get it. Let's get
What you got?
A scenario, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
read it out. Scenario.
All right. So you have lost the ability to speak and need a speech generating device to talk.
Yeah.
choose which rapper voice you would use to talk for you.
Okay,
right.
let's put it down.
So you lost your voice.
Yeah.
You lost your
Got
voice.
the machines hooked up to you.
Right.
I think I got one.
Let's see.
Ooh, do I want to sacrifice? Ooh, see, I'm in one of those.
You in a conundrum right now?
Yeah, man.
That's how I was last time. I was like,
Yeah,
damn, do I
man.
put Soulja Boy down? Because he might be good for some other scenarios.
Yeah.
Right. Battles not necessarily, but yeah. All right. Let's see what we got. Hey.
Oh, man.
Wale. What's the rhyme?
Oh, bust.
Huh?
Would say.
Boy stuff.
Nah, come on. I gotta have the ad-libs. Come on, Jeezy.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just gonna do ad-libs all day, though.
Yo, speaking of that scenario, so we talk about, a speech generating device, right? So as you see with today's technology and everything, you have this whole thing where you used to go to the studio, you had the big mixers, then they now went to the laptop where you can even record a whole song through an iPhone, through an app, right?
Yeah.
And then lately we have AI, artificial intelligence, right? And it could do a lot of things, presets on vocals, mimic somebody else's voice and things like that, whatever the case may be.
I ain't gonna lie, the Drake AI is kind of hard. I ain't gonna lie. a couple drinks, but go ahead.
But I do have a question. All right, so AI with the advancement of technology, it's amazing what it can do. So let me ask you as an engineer, do you feel like AI would be a helpful tool to make somebody evolve in their craft, or do you think that it's just taking a shortcut to the goal? Do you think it's evolution or cheating?
Man, I mean, I think with technology, there's always going to be takeaways, right? I mean, there's always going to be things that you're going to gain and things that you're going to lose. And I think, if it's real innovation and you're really innovation, then you're going to add to the net positive of the whole thing because you're actually giving something of value to people, right? So I think sometimes we have to discern the difference between something that's just a really cool feature, like the Drake filter.
Yeah.
I think it's a really cool feature, but let's see if a year from now people are still are bored of just using the Drake filter.
If it's a fad or not.
Exactly, if that's a fad or not. Rather than using actual AI that allows you to create or help you get your ideas out a lot easier.
Right.
Though that might be more beneficial to the actual creative. But I still want to see like how this is going to play out, because one, we have like the business of it, and you have the creative of it, right?
Yeah.
So that's the funny part, because you have the creative, which is like you can do whatever you want with the creative.
Yeah,
and the business point, like what's going to happen with intellectual property, what's going to happen with copyright law.
Definitely see the copyright strikes,
I feel like copyright law is having a facelift right now, or needs a facelift, because right now we're in this era where we don't know, like, can you copyright, is it intellectual property to have somebody copy your voice, right?
Yeah.
Because that's not really intellectual property.
Yeah.
But then the models that these tech companies are building their AI on is off of the content that they're taking from the artist.
Yeah,
You gotta start with something.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just the the data that is just being received, and it's just.
So if I take a bunch of Drake songs that I don't own, and I model a Drake voice, and then I put that behind a paywall, I mean,
you gotta pay up.
Not only do you have to pay up, but you have to get permission.
That too. Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that's the conundrum, and from a business standpoint, I think certain things are going to be just fine in AI, and certain things like this may have issues with copyright law and just with people just being okay with it. I'm interested in as an artist, like how do you feel as like using a AI filter on a voice, and like kind of like tricking people to say, oh, I got this Drake, or maybe not tricking people, but like, I got Drake, AI Drake on my record. Is it beneficial to you as an artist?
I tell you this, the reason why I don't really care for it, besides like the humor side, is because I think when I've heard these AI Drakes and the Weekends, right, they mimic their voice, but they don't mimic their swag. And I think human emotion is something that cuts through on a record.
That's a great point.
You know, like when
I'm gonna stop you real quick.
Yeah, go.
Drake in himself, isn't he kind of, because Drake is the only one where I would disagree with. He kind of already sounds, to me at least, a little robotic. Like maybe.
Well, he's monotone, but I will say this: those AIs do not make up for his pen. Those bars are nowhere near Drake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's not me being like light skinned mafia over here, like protecting Drake. But even with the Weeknd, it's like when me as an artist, when I get into the booth, a lot of the times, like, there's been times where we record records. There's a record on this newest project we're about to drop, where I recorded in the Airbnb in Paris. And Ty actually hates it because he's like, dude, we could have recorded this in a much better room, right? But the feeling, the vibe, the feeling and the vibe of where I was at mentally, the fact that I was in another country recording it, that cuts through the record. So I think AI ultimately is gonna help more for production, songwriting type placement scenarios, right? Where people who might not have the know-how to technically chop up a sample or understand BPM or tempo or these different things, they will have a more easier alley-oop to these places. So I think, so I think with new technology,
being in Paris and you know what I'm saying, you can't replace that. Now you got something on the spot that you want to spit. That's kind of replace that.
And what's gonna happen, I think, is that ultimately, like Ty was saying, like there's going to be takeaways, pros, and there's going to be cons, not only for the technology, but I think there's gonna be pros to other industries. So when you in this experience of always experiencing things digitally, I think that's gonna make you as a viewer and a listener appreciate live shows more. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to show up to see AI Drake perform. You want to see bodies in there, people and people dancing, you dig? So I think, you know, as the famous Prodigy line, you mix the food with the medicine. I always say that line, and I think that's like a great analogy on like life. You know, you take some of the good, you mix a little bit of this with it, and you continue to evolve with the technology too, and become more of a hybrid.
Don't let this hinder you too.
Yeah, there's a lot of artists. Like I had some artist friends, visual artist friends, that for the last couple months I've been putting out a freestyle every Friday, Reject Fridays. And I invested in Midjourney because it was more conducive to me
What's Midjourney? You gotta hit me.
Midjourney is an AI art generator, right?
Oh, all right, okay.
Now I dabble in Photoshop and graphic design, and I have a plethora of artists that can do graphic design. But what happens is when I'm on the road and I'm touring and I need an artwork every Friday, to sit there and depend on human responsibility to make sure you have it on Friday at this specific time for this specific song. Last night I dropped my Freestyle Friday, and I didn't have the song to 10 at night, so I didn't have the song title, I didn't have anything.
Concept of an artwork or anything.
Right, so me having a graphic designer, I wouldn't have been able to meet that time crunch.
And you see what he's doing with the graphics, the same thing's gonna happen to music for like content creators, filmmakers, right? Like, why would I hire somebody to score my film?
It's happening now.
When I
They got
can have
AI
AI
to edit film.
You know, exactly. Why pay somebody to get the bed of my music, right? Or have to give some kind of license or royalty out for that when I can just, AI create that. And I think in those fields, you're gonna see it really created. But I think we will see a lot of people wanting to see real humans making, from the music industry standpoint. I think we are gonna, I'm not to say that AI won't be able to have we click a button and then create a whole record. But I think we will need a need. And I will just leave you with this. Some of the top people in AI, they kind of bring up this point of that 35 years ago, we could beat somebody in chess with a computer. But still, chess is one of the most played games in the world. And we want to see people play against people. We can see an AI, right now we probably can see an AI LeBron James play against an AI Kobe or AI whatever, right? But it's just so much better to see the actual
people. It's special to have a LeBron.
Exactly.
The actual person.
Exactly. So I think ultimately AI is going to help be a tool, and we got to remember it's just a tool.
I think people just got to remind themselves that it's just a tool, not just the end-all be-all.
Not the end-all be-all.
I would say the more the story is that AI is good for what it's good for, but there's nothing that beats real live conversation with real people playing a real game. So let's continue that. Let's continue this game.
Leave this Art's turn.
There you go, Arts. What you got?
Your turn. Play this card and take another player's white card, or trade one of your rapper's cards with another player's.
I believe
that
we have
takeover.
Takeover.
I'll just explain it real quick.
I'm going to
people what the takeover is.
The takeover card allows the host to steal a card from another player by blind draw, or trade one of their rapper cards, the black deck, with another player's rapper card, but again by blind draw.
So what I'll do,
you gotta pick somebody, and then you can
I'm picking you because you want.
Of course,
we need no points.
I got the points. I set myself up for that.
So I put some points on the board.
So.
And now I'm gonna have to try to read into your psychology. So I'm supposed to think that this card has points, but I'm gonna still go with this card.
I got the honor code. I'm trying to look at it.
You got 2 points. You got 2 points.
Put points on the board.
But now I know why I should keep these cards in my hand. Before I was just laying them out.
Yeah. Don't do that. Don't do that.
All right, Takeover Card is yours. Is it on me?
I believe it's on you, good sir.
It's on me. All right, so. Oh, boom, I got another discard.
Now you gonna start a battle.
With the discards, I want to start a battle with somebody. And since you just took points from me, brother.
He's trying to get it back in blood.
Since you just took points from me, I'm going to go ahead and put you up the big battle. And so you got to put one of your rapper cards down.
Oh, I don't know if you want this.
I don't. I probably don't. I probably don't. All right, we're going to explain to y'all what the battles is about.
This is interesting. Okay, so when 2 discards are played, a battle is initiated between the host and whomever they choose. Both players place face down their artist cards for the categories that we call within the rap Sliiders. The categories that we have is flow, delivery, rhyme, content, style, catalog.
So for 3 rounds, players roll our battle dice and match the category on their die with the rating on the rapper card. The highest rating wins the round, and the first player with 2 wins the battle. The winner gets a new rapper card, while the loser is left with 2 remaining lives, or rapper cards in this case. Let's see what we got. We got Kevin Gates.
Oh, shouts to Kevin Gates.
Kevin Gates.
Right. One of the GOATs.
Big Pun.
One of the GOATs.
Kevin Gates versus Big Pun.
Boricua.
All right, I'm sorry I had to do it to you, Pun. All right, so we got to roll for 3 rounds. Let's roll the dice for 3 rounds.
Let's get it.
Flow.
Flow. I got flow too.
All right, that's fine. You already need to see it. That's fine. You already know that's fine. All right, so for Kevin Gates, we got 89. And for Big Pun's Flow, we got 93.5.
Let's go.
Big Pun got round one.
Let's go.
Big Pun got to be on 100. Come on.
That's a conversation we can have. That's a conversation we can have.
Delivery.
Kevin Gates' content is 84.5. Big Pun's delivery, 84.5. Tied.
Woo! Hey, that delivery got me up a little bit more.
Okay, we can talk about that too. All right, one more time.
Oh boy,
Kevin Gates' style. 83.5. All right, Big Pun's Flow, 93.5, of course. Okay.
Big Pun
Big Pun wins. Okay, so real quick before we go on, you saying Big Pun's Flow should be 100. You think Big Pun's Flow is better than Biggie's? Yes.
I would say Biggie. All right, hold on.
Okay. All right.
I would say Biggie has the best voice ever in hip hop.
Not the best flow though.
No, I mean you have Eminem, you have fucking Pun. I mean flow wise, Biggie he delivered. He had great delivery. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like amazing delivery.
Oh,
but he was in the pocket. But when you talk about flow, I mean, what do you consider in flow?
Flow is so with Biggie, right? Because in the game, Biggie probably has the best. I think either Biggie or 3 Stacks has the best flow. So with flow, it's a combination of things. There's not too many people that can do as many different flows as Biggie can do. Pun can do a great flow, and his flow is immaculate. But can Pun do Notorious Thugs? Maybe not. Maybe not as bad as. Maybe not as good as Biggie. You know,
and not only that, Biggie did Notorious Thugs, respect to Bone Thugs, but he took Bone Thugs' flow and bodied it.
But Pun was known for his flow, like the fact that he would literally in one breath give you like 83 bars.
For sure.
If it was up to me, I would put Pun 95 on the flow and Biggie like 98 or 97.
Okay. I feel like Biggie trumps in delivery, not flow. I feel like Pun's flow was better, but Biggie's delivery was better.
So all right. So in the game, so with the delivery slider, what we're considering delivery strictly is your voice. And so not necessarily how you rhyme your words or how fast you rhyme, just strictly your voice. I think Biggie's flow is immaculate. I don't know if he has the best voice in hip hop.
I think so. That's what I would say. He has the best voice.
I think he has one. I think he's like the Frank Sinatra.
He's top 5, I would say.
I think he had the best voice in hip hop personally.
Better than
Pac?
Better than Pac?
Better than DMX?
Better than DMX?
Yeah, in my opinion.
DMX, that's the
best voice?
Wow.
I'm gonna tell you why.
DMX has a very iconic voice.
When you listen to
he does. Has a very iconic
Snoop too. Dudes like ODB. You can go down the list. There's a lot of great voices in hip hop, and that matters a lot as well too on record, right? Because there's rappers I know that rap good, but I don't like their music.
Don't forget the old school too.
Chuck D, Rakim, Guru.
Guru for sure.
For the people at home, if you want to put in the chat on who you think has the best delivery, best voice, put it down below. Put it down below.
I will say this though, I feel like in when you're working on, and this goes back to the AI thing a little bit too, when you're working on craftsmanship, a lot of these skill sets often come hand to hand with each other.
Oh, for sure.
So I think delivery,
They're
flow,
not all exclusive.
delivery, flow, and voice have a marriage within each other.
No, you're
and
right.
Biggie had all of those things, and he also had storytelling too.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I think is another compartment of delivery and flow too.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah, because the storytelling is like what you say that you can evoke the emotion. I can see how that's tied.
So for the game, we're wrapping that into content basically.
Yeah.
Storytelling is definitely a part of that. But for this battle, Big Pun has won. So I lose my rapper card. You get another one. I'm wide up with 2 now. Okay, so
In addition though, because there's one more thing. Right? So now, when the first battle is done, 2 cards are introduced. We have the crown card and the ether card. The winner of the battle gets the crown card, and it's worth 3 points.
Nice.
However, keep in mind, everyone knows you have the crown card, because with the crown card, you have to defend it every single time you get in a battle. The loser of the first battle also gets the ether card. Here you go, Kenny.
Soul burning slow.
Yeah.
Worth -3.
The ether card is worth -3. So we want to stay away from you.
Yeah, I got incentive to battle sound because I want to get this off.
That's one of the ways you can, lose the ether card is if you win a battle, that loser will get the ether card. So now this changes everything. We gotta be careful. Okay, so you might. This should be very interesting. Okay, and I have a discard. This is my
only
first
got one
disc.
though.
Yes.
All right.
So I cannot battle.
All right, moving on.
Here you go, Ty.
Let's get it.
Your turn.
If hip hop were a country, who would you vote for in the next presidential election?
Yeah,
Okay. Damn.
Put it down.
Okay.
Again, hip hop is a country.
Damn.
The flag is a boombox. Who
like that.
who are we voting for president? We have President who?
President Keith.
Oh, yeah.
President Chief.
We love Sosa.
Love
President
Sosa.
Gucci.
Gucci? Oh, yeah. Come on. Gucci a real one.
President A$AP Ferg.
Oh, man.
Oh, snap.
What you got?
Who you
Tom?
voting for, man?
What you got?
For 2024.
All right.
Gotta go with the youth, kid.
All right, here's the thing. Chief Keef is gonna be a good general because he gonna drill everything.
Oh, my God.
We got foreign ops. We got foreign ops. He's drilling everything.
Full posse
With
on lock
Chief
with
Keef.
Chief Keef.
Gucci, man, he just gonna have everybody partying. He's gonna have everybody drippy, sauce
So it's
up.
the 80s.
A$AP Ferg is gonna have everybody fly too. He a Harlem dude, so
Okay.
he gonna have everybody fly.
Gotta vote for somebody.
Dang, come on, dog. I gotta go with Gucci, man.
Gucci.
Come on, Gucci. Gucci for president, baby.
Got Gucci?
Yeah.
I thought I would have won because I'm like, damn, Chief Keef just came out with Tank Davis on the fight. Maybe he died.
I might have voted for Chief Keef, I ain't gonna lie.
I might have voted for Gucci. though, I ain't gonna lie. Gucci like the elder
Gucci
statesman.
he
He
the
like
OG.
Chief Keef OG,
Yeah, he the OG. You gotta
I
vote
took
for
a
Gucci
gamble
out
on that
there.
and I won. I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah,
Everybody
it's
else
all
was just not
I gotta
gonna
go
make
with
the
That's
Gucci.
what's up.
I'm
Strife
sorry.
wins 2 points. That's good.
Okay.
All right, so now we got.
Arts.
Oh,
So if you were an aspiring rapper, which rapper's crew or group would you most likely want to be a part of?
interesting question.
No, I think I got this one. Come
I
on.
don't think I got this one, but I'm taking it.
I think I got this.
I don't think I got it either. MC.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
Big Sean.
Okay.
A$AP Rocky.
Another
Oh. Damn, this is hard because Pimp C, UGK, those are my
UGK,
guys.
you know what
And I just,
God
Rest in peace
Okay.
to Pimp C.
Word.
I was just on behind the snes on Talib Kweli's podcast. He was interviewing Corey Mo,
Oh,
producer
yeah,
for
yeah.
Pimp C,
Bangers. He makes
and
bangers,
he was
yeah.
telling a lot of great stories about Pimp C and how like he just inspired everybody around him, like culturally.
Hell yeah.
Big Sean finally famous, you know.
You could kind of claim good music if you wanted to, depending on what era of Big Sean you talking about.
That's true.
Okay.
It depends.
I didn't
you
think
know
about
what I'm
that. You
saying?
gotta snuck that in.
Yeah, I snuck that in.
I see what you did. I see what you did.
This is what we call inception. Planting the idea into somebody's head.
Exactly.
And then A$AP Rocky, the infamous A$AP.
Come on, A$AP crew.
You know, the
Thinking
Harlem
about that,
Boys.
thinking about if A$AP Yams was still alive, rest in peace.
You know what's funny about that? Maybe because we're both Hispanic and Latin, but when I was starting to tour in Canada, a lot of cats that
Thought you
knew
was
Yam, a lot of cats that knew Yam said that me and him had very familiar energy, similar energy. So that's interesting. I would have loved to have met him before his passing.
Yeah, rest in peace, A$AP Yams.
R.P. to Yams. Man, it's hard.
Yeah, hard than I thought.
You know, I'm gonna be the only Brooklyn cat in A$AP.
Hey,
Let's get it.
A$AP Rocky.
Cause they more of the
That's what I
crew.
said.
I got you.
Come on, the reject crew, the A$AP crew come together. Let's go, man.
Before we go forward, I do have a question for you. First and foremost, Alone in the Metaverse, I like the album. But the one joint that stand out to me, besides the NFT song that you just released for, is the Keeping Receipts.
Right.
With Trinidad, man.
Yeah,
That was a dope, a dope mesh of a vibe, man. Like, how did that story started when like you getting that feature? Which is a dope feature, by the way.
Thank you. It was an interesting story actually. I threw an event at Quad Studios, and it was like one of those watershed moments for me because what started to happen, for the past like 10 plus years, I've been doing music, but I changed like my shows to be more mixed media gallery events because I wanted people to understand, arts is artsy. And then a couple years ago, via Clubhouse, I dove into the NFT space. Which served as another tool for me to drop my music. So for the past years, I was dropping my songs with paintings, comic books, all types of visual art experiences and pieces of merch. So when NFTs came into the play, I dove right in, and it seemed like my experience from hosting and curating events and just curating mixed media projects really hit well in that space. So one of the first physical events I did was one called NFT Hype Beast, which was a play on kind of like Hype Beast culture for this new phenomenon. And I rented Quad Studios, but I rented 3 floors because the space wasn't big enough for the crowd I was imagining. My shows at that time were like probably bringing out anywhere from like 300 to 500 people. That night, over 3,000 plus people showed up. So lo and behold, who walks through the door? Trinidad James. And one of my homies pulled me to the side. I was like, yo, Trinidad James is here. But I was, So I was like, yo, Trinidad James here, dog. I'm like, Trinidad James? And I'm like, how the hell he get here? Like, I went up to Trinidad and I'm like, yo, bro, thanks for coming through. Like, I'm like, yo, how did you find out about this? He's like, yo, everybody in the city is saying this is the event I had to be at, to go to. And I was like, wow, like, that's what's up, dog. Well, you know, stick around. I'm about to perform right now. I was literally about to jump on set. I performed, and then afterwards we exchanged info and stuff like that. And then like a week later, he invited me to the studio back in New York, because that's where he films his Complex show. And it was such a funny interaction because I forgot that we had, like, he just watched me perform like twice. So, you know, when you're in the studio sometimes with certain artists and certain, even celebs, you always want to feel out the process. You play some music, they play some music. So I went to go play some music for him, and he's like, yo, ARTZ, I already fuck with your music, bro. Like, I didn't see you just rocking it. Like, you good. He's like, play some beats.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. He said, let's work.
And the first beat I played, he was like, yo, this is a hit. And I was like, well, you would know more than me because you had a vibe, right? So let's go with that. And then he jumped in the booth. I jumped in the booth and we banged it out, and that was history. But he's one of those dudes that I will say, like, you know, you meet a lot of type of different characters in the industry, but he's one of those guys where he doesn't feel insecure about celebrating somebody else that's great. And he keep it very real, no matter like what type of level he might see a person as, whether it be a regular fan, whether it be an artist. He's one of those people that he whatever he stamps, he's very meticulous with what he likes. And when he does appreciate somebody's talent, he's the type of person that is sharing it or telling the person next to them, yo, you never met ARTZ? Yeah, tap in.
What's up,
you know?
Shout out to Trinidad.
Yeah, shout out to Trinidad.
Real one, man. Shout out to Trinidad.
Word. All right,
cool.
Back to the game. I believe it's your turn, Kenny, right?
All right, I got a scenario. Each rapper has an album releasing tomorrow. Which rapper are you streaming first? Straight to the point.
I know who he not gonna choose. That's why I'm gonna put that down because I know.
I don't want to give this card up because I know it's gonna be.
One day you're gonna use it. Yeah, that's what I
It's a great card.
But if you know you're gonna win 2 points, you might as well go with the
Decisions.
go with the definite. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. I just gave up a card that I know I'm not gonna win this scenario with, but that I might win another one with. But I didn't want to sacrifice the ones I had.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, I will sacrifice it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's see, we got Tyler the Creator.
Ooh, man. Fetty Wap. Ooh.
Yeah, baby.
3 stacks.
Oh,
Stacks.
boy.
That's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. I gotta go with
Let's go! That's what I said. I'm like,
His first solo album.
but you see why I was afraid,
I don't even
though.
care. It could be Outkast, so it could be Andre playing the flute. I'm streaming.
You see why I'm afraid, though, because Stacks could win any battle.
He
could've won a battle.
The flute.
He definitely.
That's crazy. That's crazy. You ain't even rapping on the album.
Right,
you just playing flute.
I
I'm
was
still
streaming that before,
listening to
yeah.
you.
Wow, that's crazy.
Shout out to 3 stacks.
All right,
man.
He in my top 5.
Man
So
said
I
3
can't.
Stacks can come out with a skit.
Yeah, I was streaming that
That's
first.
crazy.
I'll listen to a 3 Stacks album for sure.
Let me go, man. Okay, I have another discard. I have 2.
Shit.
Who has that crown card? That's yeah.
Over here.
I'm going for the crown, man.
Oh,
go.
Nah.
You just said you had some heroes, so let's see what you got.
Yeah.
One of the goats. You ready?
I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Face down.
I don't even want. I want to put it face up. Just
Who gonna scare me? Nah.
All right, let's see who we got here. We got
Your boy,
Drake.
Drizzy.
Oh, this is a battle,
Yo, put this in the chat below. Drake versus Nas. Who you think will actually win in the battle?
Who ya got? That's
That would be
crazy.
a great battle.
It's disrespectful to say either, honestly.
Yo, but their card is called Ether.
It's
Remember
disrespectful to
that?
say Nas is gonna win. I mean, to say Drake is gonna win against Nas, but there's also disrespectful to say Nas will just wash Drake either.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
Drake is
hard.
battle tested.
Yeah.
It's battle tested.
Drake is battle tested too.
Nas battle tested too. They
He
both
is.
battle
Yeah.
tested.
He is. Let's see what we
It's
got.
going to boil down to these stats and these roles.
Let's
You
go.
ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's get it.
Flow.
Content.
Drake's flow.
Flow was
Nas'
content.
content.
Oh, boy.
Drake's flow, 86. Nas' content,
94.5. Nas
Doug, I'm on the road. I
Queens
wish
get
we
the
were playing CeeLo. I'm killing right now.
Queens get the money.
I got style.
Drake's
Delivery.
style. Drake's
Style.
style.
95.5.
95.5. Nas' delivery.
80.
What?
So,
Nas delivery.
So, again,
Come on.
Again, with
Eat
delivery,
it.
we're talking about strictly voice.
Voice, yeah.
Nas, to me personally, Nas's voice doesn't really cut through like a lot of others. Which is why
I'll give
it's-
him at least a 90
What-
on that.
that's being generous to Nas though.
Nah, he
And I
got a
get it.
dope voice.
He
Fake
does,
top, no love. You
but
get
it's not
stuck.
dynamic. Like Nas ain't, you know what I mean? He can't do a whole bunch of stuff. But
I put Nas's voice was higher. He didn't think so, but at the end of the day,
averaged out to
it averages out to what it is. But go ahead, continue.
No, that's it. So we got, it's a tie right now, right?
Yeah,
Tie.
one.
Let's see.
Come
Drake
on,
might
Drizzy.
come out with the win in this. Let's see.
OVO XO. I mean, Nas is
No,
Queens,
that's the
but
one.
I gotta win this one.
Queen
For the
get the
win, for the
money.
win.
Queen get the money.
Drake's flow, 86. Nas's rhyme, 91.5. Nas wins.
I'm sorry, Drizzy. I'm sorry.
It was close.
Man.
It was close.
I couldn't even see the rhymes, but once I seen rhyme, I'm like, I got that.
Yeah.
All right,
Drizzy winning the verses though.
Drizzy wins the verses.
Like in the verses,
Especially if you have this generation in the crowd.
I get my crown card back, bro.
I would say
Oh, you
if
didn't put it
it's
up, so you still got it in your hand, right?
you still,
Oh, yeah.
you still
Yeah.
hold it. Yeah.
Should have put it up, but it's cool. So you got another artist, Robert Card. You don't.
I don't. I have two artists.
You two with me.
But quick statement. You said Drake will win in the verses. Only if it's 20 rounds, because you know some of these verses could go on 30 songs, things like that. But if it's
It also
20,
depends too. It also depends because look at how the Locks beat Dipset. If you got an atmosphere like that where they rhyming over records and you got a certain demographic
Nas
in
is
the
gonna-
crowd,
So then it's Drake's energy
Nas
versus
might win.
Nas'
Nas
energy.
gonna win. Yeah.
But
Drake's
Drake got them global hits, so
Yeah, but
you know,
on these two on stage together, like in that what
in
you
that
just said,
capacity,
in that
live
capacity,
performance, I think
Nas is edging it because Drake already Drake is bowing down to Nas. I don't even
Yeah.
like he gonna have to pay homage.
That's
And I don't-
that's how he's gonna feel like.
when records like Street Dreams play and I
Yeah,
Rule the
yeah,
He gonna
World.
be rapping with Nas.
Yeah, he gonna be rapping.
But it's gonna be tough when Street Dreams playing in Kiki. Do you love me?
And then you got all the millennials like dancing. Yeah, the TikToks.
It'll be a tough one. It'll be a tough one. It'll be a
But
tough one.
we shall see. All right, so I believe Ty, it's your turn.
Yes,
I lost
sir,
the
yes,
battle.
sir.
It was a
I
battle.
got
well fought.
okay. This is the takeover. How do you
Got
do that?
Takeover?
Okay, so Takeover, just like what ARTZ did before, you can choose somebody that you want to take a card from. If you want to take a white card, you can take it and it's yours. If you take a black card, you got to trade it from one of yours.
I know he got that
So
crown
this-
up in there.
okay, so the
Let's
same
put the
way.
Takeover down.
Yeah, put the Takeover. Yeah, I got you. Yep.
No, okay.
And the same way that you have ARTZ fan it out, just like that, so he can't see. what
I'll
you
pick
want.
for you. You just let me know where.
Yeah.
Eeny, meeny,
Really?
miny. Let me see. If I was ARTZ, where would I hide my crown card?
Yeah, right.
He's simple enough to throw it in the middle, but I think he's gonna think that he threw it in the middle. So give me that one all the way to the right.
This one?
Yeah.
You was right about the middle.
Ty gets the crown.
Now let me switch it up.
Ty gets the crown and takeover.
You got the
You
crown
gotta
card?
get the
Nah.
No, he didn't get it.
He didn't get it.
He was right. His gut instinct.
Oh, was right.
My gut instinct was right.
Oh, okay.
I know you that is luck. You never go against your gut instinct because you was right.
That's true.
Okay,
Go
so
with
he
your
did
gut.
not get the crown.
And I didn't even purposely put it in the middle, but you were still right.
ARTZ, I believe it's your
ARTZ is
turn.
on you.
Yep.
Okay, so on your turn, if you have two discards, play
you got a
two
disc.
discards and
You got
choose
another
another
disc.
player. Okay, yeah, so I don't
You got
have
a disc.
I
You
don't
only
have
got one, right?
Yeah.
All right,
so
so
my turn's over.
Yeah.
Next one.
That's -1
So me,
until you get rid of it.
I get a takeover.
Oh, wow.
Let's see what you got over there, bro.
Oh, me?
He's going for that.
Yeah, I'm going for that crown.
Wait, I never got the crown.
It's cool.
Yeah, you already chose. It's too late.
Yeah, I already chose. I'm still thinking you got the crown.
Ladies and gentlemen, you gotta pay attention to who has the crown.
Yeah.
Things like this happen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let me see.
So let's see.
I mean, it doesn't really matter, I guess, right?
I got points.
all
I'll
of
take the
us
points.
do.
All right, so
happens.
Of me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, you had to take it off for that.
All right.
If you could live inside the music video of either rapper, which would you choose?
Music video? You
Yeah,
said?
if I could live in the music video of either rapper, which would I choose? Which would I want to live in?
Live.
Think about it.
Yo Gotti.
Yo Gotti. Ooh. Trapping all day.
Offset.
Trapping all day.
Wiz Khalifa. Smoking all day.
Smoking all day.
Oh, Lord. You know about it.
You're gonna be high.
You know about it.
Damn. Living
Gotta
there?
live in it.
Think about who you gonna have the most fun with.
Yeah, I'm going with Wiz.
Yeah.
Gotta go with Wiz too.
I'm like, Offset. No,
man.
You said Offset and Cardi B? Come on.
That's true.
I would have
You
went
know
Wiz
Cardi B got
first.
mad baddies he's chilling with all day.
Top
Yeah.
two.
Your turn.
That's me. Let's do it. I got a discard. Just one though.
Just
You
one.
got one?
Just one.
Okay, cool. All right, this is your turn.
You finally purchase your dream car and it's everything you imagine. Time to stunt. As you pull off the lot, who are you listening to?
Oh, man.
Who are you listening
Pretty
to
good
in your
scenario.
dream car?
Yeah.
Pulling off in the lot.
Wait, so you?
That's who he's listening to.
Who you listening to if you pull
Yeah,
up the lot?
Dream
Oh.
car, I just got the Lambo.
Oh, man.
Yellow
dream car.
joint. Kill Bill.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Yellow with the black on
Who is
it.
us listening to?
Maybe I'm black with
I
yellow.
see. Y'all keep making me pull out these cards before I want to pull them out, but
Hey,
I
listen.
just got it.
It's your choice, man.
You know what I mean?
Who you listening to? Artz? Who you
Don't
listening
let
to?
me down,
And then
dog.
one of them cards better say me.
Little baby.
Oh, that's my guy. My guy. I ain't gonna lie.
Lupe Fiasco.
Oh, that's my guy too. That's my guy. Woo! You know, for a long time, you know, Food and Liquor and The Cool are classic albums.
Yeah.
Classic albums. And the dreamer in me would choose Lupe. But I ain't gonna lie, if I had my
Lambo, though.
if I'm jumping in the
It's
Lamb,
a lamb.
I might play that.
Yellow and black. Which
You ain't
one
want to play kick bush?
That's if I got the skateboard, the dream skateboard in my life.
Those are the broke days.
Yeah, those are the broke days. But if I'm pulling off, I might be bumping that On Me by Lil Baby.
Oh, you might be down. I could have used that for a battle, man.
Yeah, you could have. I'm sorry, dog.
Damn,
It's context, you know?
I need another rapper card.
Me too, yeah.
That's like me playing Lupe if I'm on my first date with
I knew I
Shorty.
should have said that. Rapper card for a battle.
Cool. Speaking of dreams, Arts, I just seen you was on IG. You was in Germany. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
How
big
was
facts.
that? How was that?
Oh man, international. I did Germany a couple times. I did a Europe tour in general, but just like the international vibes is so inspiring, man. Because, not to take away from America. Obviously, I love the country I'm born in, but internationally, you have language barriers and these different things, but people solely connect off a vibe.
Yeah.
Whether you're an artist that has a million
Sometimes
followers.
language is the barrier. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes language is very 100%. So internationally, like when I was doing these shows, people are listening to the music, they're listening to the lyrics, and they don't care about any clout-based things, right? They don't care about what I'm wearing at the show, even though I am dripped in some Prada, right? They know I'm Prada Poppy, but they're listening more so like, yo, why should I give this person my attention?
Facts.
On tour, I was testing out some of the records from the new album that I haven't even released yet. And internationally,
I was about to ask you what you got playing next.
yeah, we dropping a project called Then I Met You.
You say we, you've been TyTheSoundGod.
Ty-
Are you producing the whole thing?
A lot of it.
Majority of it.
Most of it.
90%.
Y'all working in tandem to,
Yeah, we've been working together for the last 11 years, maybe 12 years.
Cool.
Dope.
Building this what I like to call a cinematic sound that meshes my traditional classic modern rap style with also modern melodics and melody. And with this new album, being in Germany and places like Bosnia and Paris and these other places inspired me to come back home and create like a dance club album. Okay. You know, I'm rapping on it for sure.
Yeah.
But what I noticed is like when I was testing out some of these records on the road, it's like, yo, rap music and hip hop for a really long time. Like, yeah, you got people doing TikToks and dance challenges and stuff like that. But the culture of rap is so watered down to where it's like sometimes when you go into these clubs and these venues, people are so stiff.
Oh yeah.
And they so worried about how they're being seen or how
people
cool they
look.
look.
A long time. Yeah.
I noticed once I let go of that in the performance aspect, in tandem with these more upbeat dance club records, it allowed people to break away from that monotony a bit, enjoy themselves first, and then discover and dive into like the many moods and vibes of who I am as an artist.
Makes sense.
You know, so being in Germany is ill.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Dope.
All right. Kenny, it's your turn.
I got
what you got, man.
scenario. All right. The blockbuster film Hip Hop the Movie is in theaters and you're about to watch it. Whose song is playing in the opening credits?
If you don't choose
need a
this,
legend.
if you don't choose this, we're not friends anymore. It's over.
I need a legend.
Damn, man, I don't know. I don't know.
How much was this one? I got
Whose song is playing in the credits?
That's how the cookies crumble, man.
Big Boy.
Okay.
Common.
okay. Come on, hip hop.
Come on, man.
We talking hip hop.
Yeah, we talking hip hop.
Yeah.
I gotta go with I Used to Love Her. I got you. I gotta go. I
Y'all, we're not friends anymore. Why would you
What, Big Boy?
No, Snoop, man. Why would you choose the?
Because I Used to Love Her is that's the hip hop
Everybody
song.
does that. This is your movie. You don't want to be unique.
No, this is Hip Hop the Movie. This ain't my movie.
Right.
This is Hip Hop the Movie.
Let's
So I'll
go.
get the 2 points on that one.
My man chose Common over Snoop.
What
I kinda
Snoop
knew
song?
Big Boy
I
was
don't know
gonna
what
choose
Snoop song
that.
I would pick for the intro joint for Hip Hop the Movie. Gin and Juice?
Yeah.
Or I Used to Love Her.
Murder was the case.
Nah.
Bruh, like, he got mad joints, man.
As hip hop.
Sexual Eruption?
No. That's not with no.
That's a freaky hip hop.
Hip Hop and Freak Tale.
Yeah.
Strife is on you, bro.
All right, man. Oh my gosh, for sensual seduction intro hip hop.
That's hilarious.
All right, I have a takeover.
Oh, nice.
Let's go, Arts.
Yeah.
I kept my memory.
Arts got the points over there.
What we doing?
Go for that crown.
I got a whole. You can spread it out on your arm.
I got the money bag.
Pass me that white card. It's right between them. Yep.
This one?
This one?
Mhm. No, that one.
Nice. You ain't get my crown, king.
Nah,
You ain't get my crown, king.
Take over shoes.
Dang, man.
Take over shoes.
Ty.
You got some points, though.
Yeah, got
look
some
at that.
points.
All right,
Oh,
let's
but
see what
Crown
we
got the most points.
Oh, we got a
Let's see.
scenario.
That scenario, okay.
Okay, you started your own record label. Choose the artist that you will most likely be your first signee.
Well, obviously, first signee would be Arts. Well, no, y'all be together, but I'm just saying in the context of the
Sign that paperwork.
Hypothetical.
My man trying to be Suge Knight over there.
Put down.
All right.
This is good right here. Okay, we got Big
Oh,
Baby,
man.
baby.
Come on.
J. Cole,
Oh, man.
Oh.
Kanye West.
This guy
Ladies and gentlemen,
Why y'all do this to me,
this
though?
is
I know.
all right. Ladies and gentlemen, again, if you was in this scenario, you just got a $1 billion label, whatever.
This might be the hardest scenario. Yeah, go ahead.
Would you sign Biggie, J. Cole, or Kanye West? First, the flagship artist.
Flagship.
Now,
Flagship.
I'ma just throw
how are we basing this? We're basing this
I'ma
off of
just
your career?
whatever you want. This is your scenario.
We're basing it off of like this, the Sonic, the career.
Your label.
This is your label.
Yo, you Suge Knight. Who you signing first, man? They on your terms.
Now,
No question. Just go.
all right.
Whatever your parameters are, is what you decide.
Exactly. Don't stare at the numbers. Just think of the artist? That's it.
I'ma just throw a little, you know what I mean? A little something out there. Longevity wise.
Hold on. No,
I was gonna try to get. I know where you're going.
Yeah.
Because I was like, am I only getting 2 albums out of Biggie?
Nah. That don't count. That don't.
Hey, I'ma just throw that in there, just a little season in there.
The artist's talent. That's
If
it.
that's the case, PR troubles. You got some PR troubles.
You right about that, bro. You got a point.
I would have made my bag by then, though.
Yeah, true that.
And or maybe got sued.
You gotta choose one.
Biggie, Cole, or
All right. I'm gonna go through each one and I'm gonna explain.
Okay, good. Let's do it.
All right, Biggie. I mean, dude, it's Biggie.
Yeah.
It's like, it's fucking, it's big. Yeah, I mean, he's the inspiration to everybody there. J. Cole, I freaking love this guy. He's really, really, I mean, like one of the best artists today.
See, the thing with J. Cole, though, he's gonna break away from you and start dreaming.
Yo. Again, no exception allowed, bro.
Kanye West.
Oh, man.
Let me tell you something.
Grimy.
Whatever the controversy is behind Kanye West, I do, and this is maybe controversial, I do believe he is the greatest hip-hop artist to ever live. When you put everything together,
arguable. Yeah, for sure.
You put everything together from the production to like whatever you can say. Oh, he might not write his stuff, and people do that. You can argue on those things. But when it comes to culminating everything and putting everything together and just putting out the music, person who most inspired my production, the person that most inspired curated my taste in music. I mean, I listened to Kanye's first mixtape. I met this girl when I was 3 years old, and what I love most, she had so much.
The original one.
The original
one, yes. Not that
a lot of people don't know that about that mixtape.
Yeah.
That was before.
I remember that.
That was before the College Dropout.
Yeah.
I have to sign Kanye West.
Yes.
That's crazy. It's the only time in my life that I would ever imagine putting down Biggie and losing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right.
That might have been the most toughest scenario that I've seen on the show from my time.
It was a tough one.
2 points go to me. Sorry to Kanye West.
Sorry to J. Cole, my fellow collegiate man.
Yeah, J. Cole was you gotta X J. Cole out of that situation, right?
No, man. Like,
He's no. I'm just saying compared to Kanye.
I had J. Cole.
You had J. Cole?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
he go for J. Cole no matter what.
The one thing about both of them is, and the reason why I felt like I thought after Kanye he would have picked Biggie if he didn't pick Kanye. Maybe I'm wrong, right? But the one thing you would have picked Biggie, right?
Just out of respect.
Out of respect, right? But the one thing I was thinking, like maybe he won't pick Biggie even if he didn't choose Kanye because both of them produce their own stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm a producer too.
So
we're talking about with that scenario specifically, where were you guys going with it? You was going Biggie? I mean, you was going Cole. You was going where, Biggie?
I was going with Kanye, probably.
You was going Kanye?
If I own a label, I'm going with Kanye.
I would go with Biggie.
Biggie?
Yeah.
I would go with Biggie, but it's like what you just said. Yeah. Owning the label, I would understand from the business side. I'm going to make more money on Kanye because Yeezy, production,
like you said,
he makes the beats. Yeah.
So.
Stemming from that scenario brings me another question I got for you, Ty. You just talked about labels. So as you know, being an engineer, being a producer, we do a whole lot of work behind the scenes as far as making sure the artist records sound right, going from the singles to the EPs to the albums. And then when everything is said and done, right, we got the necessary evil, I want to say, we got to handle, which is the paperwork and who gets what percentages and things of that nature. Now, I can say from my experience and your experience, we went through a multitude of paperwork on getting paid from labels for mixing artists and things like that. But I would say on rare occasions, you might get that paperwork where it's you might get a percentage or whatever off the record or off the album.
It's to the discretion of the artist or the label.
But one of the things that I don't really see as far as from an engineering standpoint are engineers being offered any percentage on the album or on the record, things like that. Do you feel, and I know you're a producer as well, but do you feel from an engineering standpoint that they should receive points on the record, on the album?
I mean, this is a something that
this
is something that we've been dealing with for a long time, and I think a lot of people really don't understand the importance of engineering and how important an engineer is, and the role of an engineer today is. And the reason why is because of the transition that engineers had, how quickly that transition happened from analog, where people were actually hiring you because you know how to use a piece of gear.
And they didn't.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, I hired you because you know how to use the SSLG.
Correct.
I hired you because you know how to use this certain board or this piece of gear.
Yeah, the analog
that you
gear,
know.
correct.
You know what I mean? And I hired you as a technician, so you will work for hire. And then I will have a producer come in, I will have a songwriter come in, I will have musicians come in, and all these people will be about the process. And you were focusing on making sure that you were monitoring this recording and you were capturing things. Fast forward to today.
It's much different.
Very different. Nobody shows up to the studio but you and the artist. You're the one that's giving the feedback in the studio. You're the one that's actually comping the vocals. You're the one that's actually saying, okay, here's the special moments here. Let's add effects processing to this part. You're the one that's saying, okay, yeah, let's rearrange this. So
that's a producer.
If you're really talking about it, if we're really talking about it, today's day and age of what we call the producer, the guy who makes the beats, or whatever, is really a composer. And the engineer is really producing the record. Right, in a lot of sense, right?
Because nobody else is there. I didn't even think about that.
Depending on what engineer you have. Yes, he's definitely producing.
Depending on, but here's the thing. I think, and I truly believe this. Those guys who are not doing, I think they're fizzling out. I think the guys who are just pressing record. Because who wants to hire somebody? Because it's like the technology is so much more accessible now. That it's just like, I don't need to sit there and hire somebody to just like monitor my recording. I need you
intangibles, right?
So people hire you, Strife, because they're like, yo, he's dope creatively. Like he's gonna bring something.
He's adding something to this.
Exactly. So when people hire me, they're like, yo, they know I'm gonna add some creative to it, right? And if you know that, then I think we need to, as an industry, understand that, hey, the transition of engineering has changed, and the business is actually changed of engineering, and we have to account for that somehow. But you know, obviously, it doesn't benefit or behoove anybody else in the industry, but engineers. So what has to happen is that we have to figure out a way to fight for ourselves. And we have to figure out a way to do it. Because
how do you do that? I mean, is a union something that you possibly
we've talked about unions?
No, just for engineers.
No, engineering union. We've talked about that, but it's just like, it's very hard in this industry because of the politics. You know what I mean? So when you have, you know, the politics of like, you know, who's who, who's done what, who's there, I mean, that really has control over the industry.
Because I've seen it could break down to like just people in the studio, you know, like you could be working on an amazing record and an artist could just have, you know, like another friend there, they're like, oh, you know, say this hook like this, or, you know, switch these lines around, and then 3 months later they put out the record and it's amazing, and they're like, wait a minute, you know that this record became like this because,
100%.
you know, I switched the line. So now they want, you know, pieces.
There's records that I worked on that generated millions of dollars and I got paid maybe $150 for.
I think there needs to be some sort of software, I would say, or somewhere, like, you see how we're evolving with the tech? I think like the business of music has to evolve with that too. So if like every time somebody enters a studio session or tracks a studio session, this is for all the builders out there that are developing tech software or apps or different things like that. I think there should be something that makes the artist and whatever involving parties like fill it out. It's almost like if you come into a building like a production studio, right?
But the problem
a lot of the times you gotta like sign up a sheet with your ID and show like, yo, I was registered in this room, right?
And I don't want to sound too nefarious here, but the problem with that is that the industry doesn't want transparency like that. Because there's really, when we're in this industry, let's be honest, a lot of money gets left on the table. Sound Exchange collected billions of dollars of money that was just left on the table.
Right.
And because people don't know what the hell's going on in this industry. Right? And that money can be invested and tripled and 10 times and 100 times, right? So, I mean, that's what's happening here, and I don't think
banking off of somebody not paying attention.
They're banking on you not knowing. And if you and a whole bunch of people don't know that could be a lot of residuals coming in. You know?
That's a conflict, right?
So, and I don't want to sound nefarious because there are just as many bad players there are. They're good players as well in the industry, but you know, I do believe that they don't. The transparencies, it could have been there. Like, I can track my Domino's pizza. Why can't I track my royalties?
Right.
I mean,
Fair point.
That's a good one.
That's a bar right there. Yeah.
Just to wrap it up, you're definitely
oh yeah,
for,
yeah.
like, engineering.
I didn't even get a conclusion.
No,
I am for.
You dropped the mic real quick. You just picked it back up. So
But I am for engineers definitely getting points, and I think we need to somehow make it into law, into copyright law, just like if somebody plays a piano part, right? That's so we need to fight for that as engineers because we are adding a lot of creative IP nowadays. And if you're hiring somebody, an engineer, and he's not adding creative IP to you, then you need to go find somebody else who's gonna add creative IP to your records.
Don't find nobody else, find him.
These two gentlemen do a great.
I might be too busy for you, but
I'm not.
Don't find him. Yes.
On that note, who is next? I believe it will be ARTZ.
Is it us?
Mm-hmm. Because you had the scenario with the label.
yes, sir.
Okay. I have a diss.
You got two
You have
disses
another
here?
one?
I got two disses.
Who you going for?
Oh shit.
Who had
They put the two disses down.
Wait, so I get to just take a card, right?
No, this is the battle.
This is the battle.
Oh, this
Same
is
way that we battled
Oh,
before.
they put that crown card down.
Oh yeah, you got the crown too.
Oh,
Yeah, you got to defend the crown.
I gotta defend
Make
the
sure you got
crown.
someone you
They
ain't had.
tested me today, y'all. I had two battles already. They both went 1-for-1, and then I won on
And
the
now you got to defend
third
the
row.
crown.
It's the third time the charm.
You got to defend the crown. I feel like Israel Adesanya right now.
Let's see.
Yo, alright, I'm gonna go. I'm
you
gonna have
picking?
to go here.
Yeah, who's gonna
Oh,
battle?
who I'm gonna battle? I'm gonna
Yeah.
battle Strife, man.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
get
they trying to knock me
Strife
out.
gangster.
Let's get it.
Sheesh,
Put
man.
them cards down.
Who's going with? Who's going with?
Got.
Man.
Alright.
Let's see
Got
what
some
we got.
bars ready for you.
I got Logic.
Oh,
wow.
Logic. Shout out to homie Logic, but
Shout out to Logic.
I got
Pusha
Yeah.
T.
Pusha T.
Push.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it through this battle. I'm gonna make it. Let's go.
That crown's going back to ARTZ.
I got delivery.
I got content.
75.
You know he got that.
Content.
Wait, hold on, wait. Logic's delivery, 75.5.
0.5.
Pusha T's content, 75. This is the only category that, this is the worst category that you could have got from Pusha.
I got round
His
one.
content.
I got
Come on, we
round
know
one.
Pusha's content.
Nah, but the way he do it though.
I like you, Logic.
I
He
like
wins this battle.
Logic
This
wins
is
the
battle.
first
one.
round.
Right.
If you hold content again, it's
Keep
a
hope
wrap for you.
alive.
Let's
Keep
get
hope
it.
alive.
Let's go.
Hope alive.
God, oh my God, the same.
No, Logic won this
Pusha
battle.
T's content, 75. Logic's delivery,
5.5 again.
75.5. Logic beats Pusha T in a
Keep
battle.
hope alive.
This is very
Keep hope alive.
This is very
Hey, let's get
controversial,
this round
guys.
card.
Come on, Pusha T beat Drake in a battle.
But it's
Yeah,
based
be
off of the way
Logic.
he rolled. He rolled content 2 times. We all know Pusha T only talks about one thing.
How we both wrote the same thing twice? I gotta check these dice.
These dice is not loaded.
I'm gonna make a correction too.
What's up?
Pusha T technically, he technically beat Drake in that battle.
Okay, yeah,
He
sorry about that.
technically beat him in that battle, right? Because
He technically-
of the
Does
semantics.
anybody think he didn't beat
Because
Drake?
no,
I think he
this
won the
why,
battle, he
this
didn't win
why.
the war.
Because
Okay.
he won the war because of the antics he played. He put
Yes.
The
him
war
on
he
play.
won?
But if you listen to Duppy's one of
Duppy's
the
fire.
greatest. Honestly, Duppy probably was one of the best.
I like Pusha T's record, man.
response.
Duppy's fire.
Like lyrically, I'm talking
Yeah.
about lyrically. I mean, Drake bodied.
But the story of Adion or whatever is going on, yeah.
Yeah.
But
no, me.
but if I had to really compare
Oh, wait,
story
where's the crown? Where's the
Adonis-
crown?
I had the crown.
You got the crown?
card, Yes.
So I had to
crown
really
card came to me.
If I really had to compare the story of Adonis to the Duppy, like lyrically,
Lyrically.
Drake has that all day.
Okay.
Father had to stretch his hands out just to get it from me. Come on.
True.
Come on,
in the
bro.
channel.
The bars were
It's all-
amazing.
You are
But it was
hiding.
the,
You're a
but the
hiding
event.
child.
Yeah.
That's what made it the event.
Yeah.
The fact that he did some Maury shit.
Yeah, he did.
But that's why I said he won the battle. He didn't win the war. When you look
Yeah.
at the longevity, Drake's still the number one
That's the
guy in
same
the
thing
game.
with. I feel like that's the same thing that happened with Jay-Z and us.
True.
Super Ugly.
True.
I feel like Super Ugly.
True.
Jay-Z was eating him lyrically on rather than Ether. Ether was a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think he wasn't going
Jay-Z
as much and lyrically as Super Ugly, to be honest.
No, you're right.
In my
That's a
opinion.
good perspective. Okay. I see.
Very similar. Pusha T,
Man, I
Drake,
just
Nas,
got-
Jay.
Yeah.
But
I think
Pusha
it's your
just
turn.
lost.
Y'all was blasphemous.
Shout out to Logic.
I like Pusha T. Don't get mad at me. Don't send me a verse, please. Like,
Yeah, nah.
I got a
Pusha.
diss.
Get on him.
We have one diss, so we gonna keep it moving.
aha.
Pushing.
Yeah.
Damn, I chose the wrong.
Last
thing.
time I had the crown, y'all made me give it up quick. Not this time.
Not this time?
It's my time, right? Yeah, it's my
it's on
time.
you.
Got this. I only got one.
I'm down.
I only got one diss. I
One
got
diss?
this. Yeah, it's your turn.
Last card in the
Oh,
game.
last card in the
Second.
game.
Oh,
Like, it's the last card.
I got a diss, and this makes 2 disses.
We're gonna battle.
Nah. Oh, Strife, he got the crown.
You got the crown?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got
You want-
about it. I got about
You come
it.
at the king, better not miss.
Or just low-key threw you under the bus.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
He heard over
saying.
there.
Put that crown down, man.
Alright.
Damn, I don't know.
see.
All right.
I don't know either, man. I use my best card against us.
It looked like
Logic
Strife
was your best
I
card?
think I got a.
Yeah,
Goodness
bro.
gracious.
Logic was your best card. Let me see what you got.
That's cheating.
Ice Cube.
Oh.
How you got Ice Cube?
I'm about to. You can have the crown card.
Takeoff.
Take off.
Oh,
But I might get lucky.
Let's make this quick,
RP
guys.
Takeoff.
Yeah, come on.
RP
There's no
Takeoff.
way.
Yeah, RP to Takeoff. Definitely.
Come on.
Come on, take off.
Takeoff
Bad luck.
style
Oh.
is 81.5.
Yeah.
Ice Cube's catalog 90.
Thank
All right, round 1 goes to Ice Cube.
He do got a nice
Oh,
catalog.
definitely.
He did
solid.
American
can hold
Horror.
on.
Except when he started doing that, yeah. I was like, nah, come on, Q, hang it up.
Before that, though.
He had a couple joints on the Friday contract.
I love you, Q.
He did.
And then yay, when I was a kid, that shit was annoying.
You know,
I was
holding on to
like,
this card, huh? You didn't just pick that card up.
no, I just picked that up. That was the last one I picked
Oh,
up.
you got
Round
lucky.
2.
Here we go, round
Ice
2.
Cube versus Takeoff.
Yeah.
Catalog again,
catalog
90.
again.
Takeoff's catalog 79. Ice Cube wins.
Bye-bye.
Ice Cube.
Bye-bye.
Ty gets the
got the
crown
crown.
at the last second.
At the last
I think he
second.
just won the game at the last.
More than
Might
likely,
He
man.
might have the crown.
Oh, that's the game now?
That's the
Yes.
game.
Oh, wow.
That's what we gotta do.
Yes, the game is over when there's no more cards within the white deck.
Yep. So what we gotta do now is everybody put their cards down and count up. All of the cards have points on them. If they don't have points on them, then it's 0.
So artist
7.
cards are 0?
Nope.
No, 1
These
point.
are
1
point.
Okay.
Yes.
got it.
I had XX. I wanted to drop that XX. I didn't know what to do with it.
1.
Yeah,
Triple
I
X?
lost on 2 of my biggest cards. I had a Biggie and a Pusha T. I lost a Battle to Logic with Pusha T, and then I lost to Jake Cole and Yeezy. Or Yeezy. I lost to
yeah.
Kanye, actually.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
He's like, oh, you. I
He was
think
up for the
I think he
whole
might have won
game.
I was up for the whole
Hey,
game.
this dude right here.
And then but I chose the battle with Strife.
Logic
Yeah, you
against
did.
Pusha T.
I don't even know
Those
what.
all the cards you had?
These are all the cards I had. So
Dang.
I have
Damn, you won.
nah, cause
He
I
was
got,
over there.
I
He
got,
he
this,
got cards under the table.
Oh, that's negative
I
3.
got an Ethan and this.
That's minus
So we
4
got,
right
what we
there.
got? We got, that's -4? Yeah,
Yeah,
-4,
so-
2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, -4, 6.
6.
I got 6 points.
I have 2.
Yeah,
I got
4,
6 points too.
6, 6,
I have 2. I got 2.
2,
No, I got, I got 4. Sorry, 4. I got 4.
4,
And then I got 2, 4, 7.
8, 9.
8, 9.
So I won.
Ty wins again, bro.
TyTheSoundGod
wins again.
At the last,
That's
I'm
the
gonna
last
say I'm a
second
winner.
again.
I'm a winner. What are you gonna say?
You gotta let me
worse.
enjoy the spoils though, because I did say battle Strife. I give you the alley.
Ty, can we get a little speech? How you feel winning your first, so what's the
You
scenario
know, it's
game,
just
man?
like, I know this hip hop thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, this what it's
boy
in my
took the
blood.
crown
You know
from
what I mean?
Oh, man.
Yo.
Last minute. I'll give you that, man. Good job. Good job.
Yes,
Good job.
sir,
Good
yes,
job.
sir.
Good job.
All right,
Okay,
look, with that, we're going to chill to the next episode, y'all. We want to shout out again, once again, ARTZ and TyTheSoundGod for joining us today. Word. Thank you, guys.
I want to play again. It was fun.
So look, if you're watching and you want to put your own 2 cents in, go to SoWhatGames.com to order your own copy of So What's the Scenario?
The first hip-hop game show.
I'm Kenny.
I'm Strife.
Peace, everybody.
That's it.